Alright. Hello everybody. So I'm trying a new thing here where I am multi-streaming. Hopefully we do alright. I am on Twitch and YouTube. I can only see my YouTube chat, so I have Twitch on my laptop going. Just so I can see that chat too. But anyway, today we're gonna learn some kanji. Or I shouldn't say some kanji, we're gonna learn all the kanji in N5. Now before we get started, I wanna explain a couple things. Also, if my voice is a little low, my throat is quite dry today. But I didn't wanna miss this stream. I didn't wanna have to miss this stream, I guess. Let's go to my calligraphy pen. Let's go a little bit. Yeah, alright. I don't have to have calligraphy pen. But anyway, something that I may or may not have talked about, it's been a long time, and I don't rewatch my things when I probably should be rewatching my videos. 𝘿𝙊 has already told me that my mindset isn't as a streamer, and I should be doing that. But anyway, well, we'll get to that issue some other time. So I want to explain the levels of Japanese. So we have, oh, that's actually too thick. Let's go a little smaller. All right. So N1 to N5. And with this, of course, we got 4, 3, 2. So N1, this is like fluent. Oh, I should be using a different pen for this. So fluent or native, that's N1. N5 is beginner. And N4 is like intermediate. N3 upper intermediate. N2 business level Japanese. So when you come to Japan, if you plan on coming to Japan and living here, a lot of places are going to ask for at least either N3 or N2 level, depending on what job you're going for here. In Japan, you can take the 𝘿𝙊 𝙉𝙊 tests, Japanese Language Proficiency Test. These in Japan are twice a year, once in the summer and once in the winter. So you got 2 chances. You don't need any special training or anything to take it. It's like the SAT or ACTs in the US, where you just pay the fee, and go in. So same thing here. If you're not in Japan, usually this is going to be about once a year, depending on where you are. And the levels might vary for what's available. If you're in Hawaii, you actually get all the levels available to you. But maybe in another place, let's say maybe Canada. There's a place in Canada that has only N5 and N3 level tests. So just find the nearest center to you and take a look at what options they have. It's fine, you can actually travel across states and probably country lines if you needed to. Alright. So, the reason why I wanted to explain this is because when we talk about what falls under these categories, it depends on the material you're reading or looking at. Especially kanji. There isn't really a good format or a good, what's the word I'm looking for? A good level cutoff? Maybe cutoff. There isn't really a good cutoff for like what kanji goes into what category. And you kind of see that with grammar as well. There's quite a bit of overlap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the list I have, and then I'm going to add in some extra ones that I learned when I was beginning. What my first teacher, decided was important for us. So I'm going to load that up on my side real quick. The first few sets are pretty much universal that it is an N5. So let's go ahead and go in. Now when we're doing kanji, we want to kind of think of writing in a box like this. We want to think like we're writing in this type of box. It's what a lot of practice sheets are going to have for you anyway. So the first set is numbers. So first one, ichi. It's just a horizontal line going through the middle. So this is ichi. Oh, gonna go scroll. And I want a smaller pen for this one to actually show you guys, or write it off to the side, I should say. So we got our kunyomi. I should do it in a different color. Let's be a little more in order about this. So our kunyomi, this is the Japanese readings or sounds. Because, again, kanji came from China. So there is a Chinese pronunciation and a Japanese pronunciation. And there are multiple pronunciations within those categories too. So this one actually has that example, kind of. So we got hito and hitotsu. We're going to put that in parentheses. Then the Chinese pronunciations we call onyomis. So this is, we'll put this one in katakana because that's usually how you're going to see it in like a dictionary. So, ichi and itsu. If we're talking about examples for these, which would be a good idea. So, I'll have this better organized by the second one because I think I want to move all of this over to this side actually and have examples on the... I can actually just move that, can't I? Oh, the magic of having this type of computer. Alright. So... hitori. Hitori. That's one person. It's a counter. One person. Hitori. We haven't gotten to person yet, but I'll go ahead and put it up here anyway. So we'll put 1 for hito. And then person. Hitori. So one person. For our onyomi, we can say 1 day. Tsui tachi. Yeah. Suitachi. Which, now that you look at the onyomi, you can see, like, there's itsu, but not sui, right? That's okay. And sometimes we see sounds that look very similar to what we were given, but are a little different. But ichi is if we were to just say the number itself, so ichi, 1. If we're just counting, we would say ichi. We wouldn't say hito. That's usually with other counters like hitori. Or hitotsu, the little parentheses there. That's also telling us 1 of something. Alright, next is 2. Which actually, here, I'm gonna do this to keep everything a little more organized. I'm gonna put... Oh, it's because it's in... I have it faded. That's okay, that's okay. We can keep it that, actually. Kun. On. And then there are examples over here, which we can do in normal. Alright. Now, 2. 2 is nice. It looks exactly like our katakana ni. So if you remember, horizontal line. Below that, a slightly longer one. Ni. Futa. Ni. Well, let's actually center it, just because it is just 1. Ni. And G. That's not right. Futsuka. Futari, that's correct. The knees, or not, sorry, the sus and shis are even hard for me to distinguish. But it has to be that. I don't think I've ever seen G being used for ni, which is interesting. The more you know. Though if I have it completely wrong and it's actually do, or not do, no, it'd still be su, do, yeah, do. If I have it completely wrong and it's supposed to be that, please let me know. But anyway, going into examples. So, we had hitori. This is futari. Futa. We can also have the same one over here for the second day. Second day of the month. Futsuka. And then ni, we just have ni as the example, so 2. Next is 3. This one's really nice too. Alright. Horizontal line. Below that, slightly smaller horizontal line. Below that, a slightly longer one. Wow, look at that. It's 3 lines. So this one we got mi. Well, let's center it again. Mi. Mi little tsu. Tsu. Mitsu. That's how you'd say it. Here it's san. This one I haven't seen very much either for the one I'm about to put in. Zo. I haven't seen that pronunciation be used. Some of these pronunciations, like, it's not common, but it's there. So maybe it's a good idea to still know them. But honestly, I would just focus on mi, mitsu, and san. So the example we got for, what about the third day of the month? Oh, mi, ka. That's how we'd say it, mika. So I was born on mika. And we haven't gotten to the number for my month yet. So I'll save it. Now, the really nice pattern of just, you know, 1 being 1 line, 2 being 2 lines, 3 being 3 lines, that ends with 4. So, we're gonna do a box. Oh, I don't like how wobbly that line is. My tablet is a little in a weird position right now. All right. I'm all right with that, I guess. Ugh. No, I'm not. Okay. I'm gonna just go with this. All right, so vertical line like that, then over down. And usually there's a rule with stroke order that if there's stuff that goes inside of a box, before closing it, do the stuff inside. So for this, we're gonna go over to the side like that, kind of curves. And another bit that's like an L, like that, and then close it. Ugh, I really don't like it. All right, that's a little better. I'll go with that. Now, these strokes actually don't touch this edge. There is supposed to be a space. So over here, I do have that space, but over here, I don't. So for this, we got yo and yon. And then here we got she. So she is something that we want to try to avoid saying. There are going to be words that still use she with the counter, but there are mostly just yo and yon. Reason why is because she can also mean death. She knew death. So 4 is an unlucky number. If you end up going to a superstitious hotel, for example, in Japan, maybe you'll notice they skip floor 4. Kind of like the same in the US, where if you're at a superstitious place there, they skip the number 13. So 4 is for Japan. Oh yeah, I already switched. Okay. So you probably can already guess what I'm gonna use. So the 4th day of the month. Or, yeah, 4th day of the month. So this is yo ka. Ka is our counter here. It's not, like, you can maybe guess that from the previous ones, that I'm using ka with our day kanji. So that's the counter. So yo ka. And also for people. Ooh. Yo nin. It'd sound kind of weird if we said yonin, right? That's a little too much. So yonin. It flows better. A lot of the changes that we make for numbers and words is because it flows better when we say it that way. And switching back to calligraphy for 5. Alright, so we're going to do a horizontal line. Let's maybe come a little lower. From around the middle of that horizontal line, we're going to do a slanted one coming down. From the middle of that, hopefully that's like around the middle of your box. Gonna do over, down, so like a sideways L or an angle of a square. And attach the bottoms. And there you go. I'm gonna erase just that tiny bit there. Just so there. Nice. Just nice and even looking. Alright. So here we got itsu and itsu. And down here, go. Pretty easy. So of course, the 5th day becomes itsu ka. Okay. So, when we're talking about months, so let's go down and do month. Go, ga, tsu. All right. So, gogatsu, that's me saying May for month. So here we do actually use their onyomi sounds for months. Counters for months. So 5月3日 May 3rd. That's my birthday. That's how I would say it. If somebody asked what's your birthday, I'd say 5月3日. Alright, and 6. 6 is kind of fun. Not fun, but like it looks like a spaceship to me whenever I do it. I don't know where it would be positioned in the box, but I'm going to do a small vertical. It'd probably be positioned closer to the middle, honestly. Small vertical. Then horizontal line. And we're going to put what kind of looks like a katakana ha down here. So it looks like a little spaceship with rays. That's how I always remembered it anyway. Roku. And... oh, whoops. I put in the... my bad. I mean, it is Roku, but down here, actually. Roku. Riku. And... mu. We should probably have more sounds than that. But again, I'm going off of a list here. And this, like, each list is gonna have, like, its own things. Because there's many of these that have more sounds that may or may not be important or common. It really is just all based on what you look at and use. Alright, but anyway. So just for 6, you would say roku. And for the 6th day, mu I ka. So that's why I said because I would say mu or mui, which should be in kunyomi. Mu and mui, I should say. Not or. But definitely look at other lists too, or like other flashcards. They'd be very useful to just know everything, because there are some flashcards that show every single sound. Even if it's uncommon, it'll show every single sound. I don't know how important that is. Like, I don't know if you should spend your time doing that, actually. But, I mean, it's up to you. It's however you want to study it. Alright. Next on the list is going to be 7. So 7 looks similar to our sei katakana. We're going to have horizontal line that is, to me, it looks slightly slanted. And then kind of that L stroke with the little hook at the end. So very similar to our sei, because if you remember, our sei, I'm going to put it down here, is that. So this one's going to be nana, and then nano, and shichi. Shichi is also another kind of older way of saying it, but it's okay to use that. Unlike the shi from 4. So, oh, whoops, I accidentally put in the hook. No hook for 7 on the horizontal. So that is na, no, ka. For the 7th day of the month, nanoka. For shichi, it's more common to use that with time. So shi, chi, ji. Ji is our counter for hour. So this is saying 7 o'clock. We could actually have used that for every single number. I don't know why they decided to only use it for a 7's example. Because you could say ichi-chi, ni-chi, san-chi, yon-chi. But that's okay. It's okay. We don't need to criticize the thing we're using. Just know that it's good to look at other things too. Alright, next is 8. Hachi. So this one looks very similar to our katakana ha. Probably exact. And I like to think of it as like hachi, ha. That's katakana ha here. So this one, we have ya, ya, tsu, yo, u, long yo. That's important. Yo, and ha, chi. Alright. So, of course, 8th day of the month, yo, u, ka. And that is the only example it gives me. Alright. Next is 9, which looks very similar to our katakana, ka. Again, not everything I'm showing you is in stroke order. So if another order works better for you, please do so. So I'm going to start with this line, which I'm pretty sure the second stroke might be actually what the first stroke should have been. Because for ka, it's this and then that line. But I like to do the line and then that. So from here, we're going to go over, down, and hook out. Instead of going in, like we usually do with ka, we're hooking outward. Ko, ko, no. For its kunyomi. Onyomi is gonna be... Kyu? Ku. So... for... we could just do for time. So this becomes ku. G. We're not saying Q-G, we're saying Ku-G. So you probably noticed that even counters can change a bit with their patterns. And then let's go. Oh, that's really bad. Bad little hook, but that's okay. You guys know what I'm going for. So ko, ko, no? Can you guess? Ka. Koko no ka. Alright, almost done with our numbers, because we're not going to go through like 1 through 100. We're just going to go to 10 and then doing higher numbers. So 10 looks like a plus sign. Pretty easy. To, so long o, to. And then we also have to, just normal to. And ju. So you could say juji. Juji. So long u sound. Juji. And then 10th day of the month. To ka. To ka. And then let's quickly go over the last bit of numbers here. So next is 100. The reason why we skip through is because numbers have a pattern, which I'm going to show you after we go through all of the numbers. I think it'd be easier to do it that way. So horizontal line. Oh, this is going to be 100. So horizontal line. Small little one that comes off it. A little bit over. I'm gonna go down. Over, down. Middle line, close it. And then this one does not have any kunyomis. I don't know, like I'm not native Japanese, so I don't know if that's actually normal. Or if it's true, because there are some that just don't have a kunyomi and some that just don't have onyomis anymore. So we're just gonna go to onyomi here, which is hyaku and byaku, which I think it should also add pyaku. If it's gonna do byaku, it should also add pyaku, because we do have all three of these sounds. So, sun, byaku, 300, 300, or ro, pyaku. So see, there's the P sound. That wasn't in our list. I added it there. Oh, my head. There you go. Pyaku. Ryo pyaku. It wasn't in our list, but they decided to put it in as an example. But yes. So, hundreds. 600, 300. Alright, next is 1,000. So the 1,000 looks very, very similar to our chi. To our chi katakana. I got a spam chatter on Twitch. Let me go ahead and get rid of them. Okay, well, I guess I can't get rid of them. Oh, it's alright. Did I not give myself powers to do that? What if I pop out the chat? Then can I get rid of them? No. I just can't understand how Twitch works. There must be a mode that I need on. Chat highlights, no. Deleted messages, no. Manage moderation settings? Ah, whatever. I'm gonna leave it, just because I have YouTube as my main chat anyway, so it doesn't quite matter to me that much. Alright. So we're gonna do slanted line. I think I want that actually a little closer to the middle. Then below that, horizontal line. A straight one. So far, looks very similar to our katakana chi. Instead of curving down, we're gonna just come straight down. So this is 1,000. So we got chi and sen. Also, if we're gonna add, just like with 100, if we're gonna add like the variations, in this one, the variation is zen. So sun, whoop, there, sun, zen. 3,000. And then one more large number here before explaining a bit more. So 10,000 is the number. I'm gonna go horizontal. I can probably go from the middle, but horizontal. not from the middle, a little out, which is perfect because this isn't actually straight. So coming down at a curve and a little below, I'm gonna go over, down, hook for 10,000. This one just has an onyomi, which is man. Oh, hello, Karin-san. Yeah, for stroke order, that actually doesn't matter. It only matters if you ever decide you're gonna be a calligraphy artist. Because I'm not doing stroke order. I don't think I did mon properly, because this actually would have been stroke 2. But I didn't do that. Stroke order can help some people, and so if you wanted to try stroke order, you can. But otherwise, it's not needed, as long as it looks like the end shape that you're going for, it should be okay. But, example here, ichi, man, 10,000. Yeah, I know. My first teacher, she was Japanese. She did like a racing game. Like we had to race, we were in teams, and we had to race to the board to do kanji. But if we didn't do the proper stroke order, we were disqualified. So I know they can be looking at that, but it really doesn't matter. If your teacher is set on that, just do it for your teacher, and then after that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here, now we're going to talk about numbers. Numbers are really easy to pick up on because they have this awesome pattern to it, where we have 1 through 10. If we want to go to 12, or I should say 11, I don't know why I went to 12. If we want to go to 11, so easy. We just take 10, which was 10, and add 1, which is ichi. And that's 11. I think I did 12 because I use it for the next example here. So 10 ni. Let's see. Oh, I mean, using kanji, yeah. If you were taught kanji in school, then they're gonna expect you to use it in the written. That makes sense. That's the same for me as well. We're not allowed to use any kanji that we don't know, though, because then they assume that we've done ChatGPT for it or something, which is really hard for like the Chinese students, because they do actually know harder kanji that we haven't gone over. But anyway, so this one here, 12, this is 12. So I use this as the example with my other students when I'm teaching kids. Because, let's say I want to say 20 now. I already said 12. I can't use that same thing. Switch it. 20. The way I kind of teach my younger students is because... Oh, no, hang on. I can't talk. The way I teach my younger students is through places. Because they're still going through school, they should already have this fresh in their mind. If we have like 2024, they learn in the thousands place is a 2. In the hundreds place is a 0. In the tens place is a 2. in the ones place is a 4. So I keep that and use it. So if we look at 2024, we want to write it out exactly how we're saying it. 2024. So 2 came first. Ni. You know what? Let's just do this in kanji. That's easier for me. Ni. What place is it in? It's in the 1000 place. So ni. Sen. Our hundreds place is 0, so we don't have to worry about saying it, because we don't say it when we're normally saying that, like 2024. We're not saying 2024. That's not what we're saying. So we can just skip that and go to the next one. 20. So 2 in our tens place. And then last one, 4 in our ones place. So that's how it looks. Ni sen, ni juyon. So once they kind of click with that, it becomes really easy for them to do numbers. Okay. If there are any questions, let me know. But anyway, let's move on. So yen next. Ugh, I don't like how I drew that line. So line down. Oh, you use chat GDP. I don't use it at all because I wasn't raised on that. We were raised with Wikipedia. Alright, then I'm gonna go over, down, hook. That's all one stroke, the over, down, hook. Then in the middle, come down a bit and close it. So for this, it's gonna be maru, which means circle. And en. So we say it in English as yen with the Y. Yen. And honestly, this could be the exact same thing as yabisu. When we were going over the hiragana, I told you guys that ebisu, sometimes you see it with a Y, yebisu. And that's just because when colonists and whatnot were trying to translate Japanese into Roman letters, they thought that when they were saying the eh sound, it was with the ye. So same thing here with yen, most likely. But let's go ahead and do like 1,000 yen. We would say it as sen en. It's really weird seeing like the delay on my other stream. I'm gonna try and ignore it. It's in the corner of my eye, so it's hard. Alright, next up. We're gonna do big. Okay, so horizontal line. We're gonna do slanted line. That then splits. Like that. So big. This is what this one is. Okay. We also have die or tie. A good one for die would be daigaku. So daigaku is university or college. That one looks like this. So, Dai Gaku. Big school. That's what it literally translates to. Alright, next is going to be small, obviously. So, let's go ahead and do a line with a hook. And then 2 lines coming out of that. So small is chisai. Chi, and then sai, which we'll have to write out next to it, basically. You can also say ko for small. And then shu. Yeah, shu. Alright. Let's see. So the next set is gonna be focused on days. Like days of the week. Which you kind of already saw earlier in the examples I did. So I'm gonna go a little faster here. So instead of putting examples over on this side, I'm just gonna say it instead. Alright, so day. We saw it a bit already. So, vertical line. Hoki. Yeah, welcome. Oh man. Would I say it as you? Or do I say the letters EWUW? No, that doesn't sound right. EWUW. Alright, then we're gonna go over down. So as you can see, we're just doing some kanji. I'm gonna try and list out all the N5 kanji in this. Which means I might be up for a while. Which maybe is not a good idea, because I have a 24-hour stream coming up in 2 days. Alright. Then we're gonna go middle and close it. The one I'm doing in 2 days, if anyone is interested, it's a donathon for my kitty. She has some tests and stuff coming up that I may need help covering. But no pressure. Ichi. Jitsu. Alright. So hi, ka for our kunyomi, nichi, jitsu for our onyomi. So Nihon. That's how we would say Japan. For days of the week, Nichi, Yo, Bi. So Nichi, down here in the onyomi. Yo, that's its own kanji. So Nichi Yo. And then Bi is actually up here. So doing variations again would mean we would add in Bi in that. So that means Sunday has 2 days in it. And then the 11th day of the month is 11 nichi. If I do examples on the side, it's because we've already done those kanji. I think that would probably be an easier way of doing this. Alright, so next, horizontal line. This one is going to be... This is a weird order that they decided to give it to me in, but okay. Tree. I'm gonna do a vertical line going down. Kind of looks like a cross or a T. From this little intersection, we're going to go out both ways. Swoop out. Normally after sun, I would have gone to moon. But that's just me, you know, that's what I would have done. Eventually we're going to be doing that in this anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. So ki for kunyomi. And moku for onyomi. So tree is actually for Thursday. Thursday is tree day. Moku yobi. I guess it's because they wanted to then do this next one, which is hon. So part of nihon, which is almost exactly like tree. So we're doing a horizontal line, vertical line as if we're doing tree. Do the next 8 strokes exactly the same as before. Swoop out. Difference here, we're doing a tiny little horizontal at the bottom. Like a little binder. So this, kunyomi moto, onyomi hon. So, ni hon, Japan. So, Sunbook. Next, they want us to do soil. Horizontal. Below that, a slightly longer one. And then let's cut right through it. So this one, Tsuchi. So the example I have here for you guys is Tsuchikage from Naruto. The soil shadow or earth shadow. Tsuchikage. And do for doyobi, Saturday. So soil is Saturday. Next, it's gonna be fire. Little dash. And then slanted line or curved line, I should say, not slanted. Curved line that we're also gonna curve this way. And then another dash on this side, but curving in towards the rest of our character. That's fire. Sahi. And ka. Kayobi. Tuesday. Fire day. That's Tuesday. Kayobi. And then you can just say he for just a fire. You'll end up seeing that it does have a few other readings later on, but that's okay. We'll just focus on what N5 wants you to know. Alright, next is water. Mizu. That's its kunyomi. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna do what looks like a fu, katakana, over on this side. Let's do it a little closer to the middle here. Then a line with the hook that goes out towards our fu. And then this part, it wants you to swoop out and go up. The way I actually draw this, which is fine, people can read it just fine. I turn this part into more of a K, because that's what it kind of looks like if I were to just draw a K on this side. So that's kind of what I end up doing. How many months does it take to learn N5? So if you're studying constantly, I would say you can get through N5 pretty quick, honestly. The language schools here in Japan, they usually spend 2 to 3 months on each level for like the fast-paced ones. But the fast-paced ones is assuming that you are just, you're keeping up with your studies. Because as adults, if you are an adult, we actually have more brain processing for complex thinking, which is really good for language learning. So you're at an advantage when learning languages as an adult, which is really cool. An adult who is constantly learning, like let's assume that they spend all of their free time learning. They can become fluent within 6 months, which is kind of insane, but there are studies that show that. Oh, I should put in the, forgot to put in the onyomizu, konyomizu. All right. Mizu. And sui. So suiyobi. Suiyobi, Wednesday. Wednesday is water day. And then mizu, of course, water. Like what you drink. You drink mizu. Which I'm gonna drink some water right now. One moment. All right. Next. Ooh, keen. This one's good. When I was first learning Japanese, I really liked this one. So this one's money and gold. Keen. Gonna start with what looks like a roof of a house, basically. How do I want to do this? Ugh, alright, fine. I'm gonna just stick with that. Alright, and then inside our little roof, we're gonna put a horizontal line. It's gonna go from one end to the other, but it's not gonna touch. Below that, a longer one, because again, one end to the other. Then, I should have centered this more, but that's okay. Dashes going inward towards the middle here. And then bottom, I'm gonna do that. Another horizontal line. And vertical going down. So this one's actually a really good example of me not doing stroke order at all. This is just how I write it. Not usually this much spacing though, so I usually go a little shorter like that. But again, if there's another way that you find that you write it better, just do that. As long as it looks like what it should look like, you're okay. So here we got ka, ne, money. Kane, and kin, and kon. So for this okane, that's usually how you're gonna hear money. They add o, it's like a respect type of o, so okane. And then kinyobi, Friday. Friday is money day, probably because of payday. Kinyobi. You could also hear it in bank. Ginko. Oh no, actually that's silver. My bad. Ginko is gin is silver. If you watch Dr. Stone, you actually have the siblings in there. That's kin and gin. Which is kind of an interesting thing to name siblings. Though no, it makes sense with the story of it in that village. That village is very much about naming their kids after resources. Alright, next is gonna be... You know what, I don't know, I'm gonna skip a little bit to where it makes sense to me. So moon. Because we're missing one day left. So, curved line. Over, down, hook. Horizontal here. And another little bit below that for moon. Tsu. Ki. And then we have Getsu and Gatsu. So this one is Monday. Getsuyobi for Monday. So Monday is moon day. Ski, suki, that's moon. That's just moon by itself. Suki. And then we talked about months, right? We could use this as the counter for months. So we did it with 9, I think. So ku, gatsu. For the gatsu example. Next, let's do mountain. Yama. Little vertical. A long vertical. And then this one here, there's 2 ways you can write this last part. You can either make it straight, like on this side, or some books will teach it to you slanted, like this. And then connect at the bottom there. This one, I'm gonna connect at the bottom because that should be about there. If we're doing the slant. There are different fonts, so if it is easier for you to just do the straight, it's probably fine. What you want to be careful of is when you get into more complex kanji. If you're using Google Translate, it's going to use probably the old style of that kanji as its font. So that's what you want to be careful of, because that's what a lot of Chinese students in the schools are getting mixed up with quite a bit. And if we'll probably come again, can't talk. We'll probably come up to one in this set, honestly. So if we do, I'll point it out. But this one is going to be Yama for mountain. And then San. So san is what we use after the name of a mountain. Mount Fuji, we say as Fuji-san. Something else to also keep in mind is when it comes to names, they have other sounds to them. There's a yama sound, but there's also probably a special sound as well. Why? I'm not sure. Most likely just like one of the options for sounds that it had in the way past. And it just kept. Because when Japanese started having last names was so long ago as well. Alright, next is river. So slightly curved line. Very slightly. Then a vertical line next to that. And next to that, a slightly longer one. There's a river. It even looks like a river with a little fork going out that way. So, kawa. I'm going to include also its variation, even though it's not on the list, but it could be gawa as well. And sen. All right. Next is going to be person. So person is going to be a curved line. And then curved going out this way as well. There is another one that looks almost exactly like it. Now in this font that I'm using or trying to copy, they look identical. So when I'm writing it normally for person, I'll make it more straight like this instead. So person. Hito. And jin. Nin. Jin is nationality. So if we did Nihon, jin. Nihon, jin. So Nihonjin, that means a Japanese person. Yeah, a Japanese person. I was almost about to say personality. A Japanese person. That's what Nihonjin is. Now, if you're from America, super easy to say you're American, because the way to say America in Japanese is America. Pretty easy. If people don't understand that you're speaking Japanese, it can sound like you're being offensive, because it's like America but with a Japanese accent. America. But you would then add jin to the end of that. America jin. American. If you're Indian, Indo is how you say India. Indo jin, Indian. So however you say the place in Japanese, you can add jin to the end of it, and it becomes that nationality. So pretty easy for that one. And then if we're counting, that's when we use nin. So san, nin. 3 people. Next is going to be mouth, which is just a box. So line down, over down, close. A box for mouth. Kuchi, but also could be guchi. Ko and ku. So exit, deguchi. That's where you'd hear the guchi, deguchi. If you're just talking about the mouth, you can say kuchi. Next is eyes. So vertical line down, over down. So at this point it looks very close to day. Horizontal line, a little below that, another horizontal line, and then close it. So similar to day, just one extra line inside. Me for ice. Megane, that's glasses. Then for here, moku and boku, or other sounds you could hear in other words that you probably will not learn in N5. That's okay. Next is to see. The action of to see. So we're gonna do vertical line, over down. Basically what we want to do here is put in I. So do exactly what we had done before. Put in I. But we're going to add a little bit more down here. So on this side, a line that swoops out. On the other side, going down, over, hook up. That's to see. So miru, miru. That's its dictionary form. When we get into verbs, you'll learn that verbs are in dictionary form. You conjugate them to get the tense that you want. So miru, to see. And then ken as a onyomi. Next is going to be hand, te. So we're going to do a slanted line about there. Horizontal line under. That's almost about the same length. Below that, a slightly longer line. And then here, what we want to do is come to the middle of that top line and curve down and do a hook. So this is hand. Te. Oh, wrong one. Te. And sh. Other sounds, honestly. Z. Because jozu, that's to be good at something. Karate. Same te at the end there. Kara is empty. Te, hand. So empty hand. That's what karate is. Translates to. Next is ear. Horizontal. How do I want to do this one? We're going to do vertical going down. And let's do the other side as well. A little bit longer though. Inside, we're going to put 2 horizontal lines. Then we're going to close the bottom with a slanted line. That's ear. Mimi for ear. Then we can also have G. So now the verb for this one, to listen. Kiku. Kiki. So this is going to have gate in it. Oof. Vertical line. Over, down. Line in the middle. Close. That might have been spaced a little too far, but that's okay. I'll move it over. And then we're going to do ear right down here. So it's going to be about half the size. And then we're going to do another one of these, but on this side. So down, over, down with a hook. This part has a hook. Line and close. So I'm now going to move this one over to a better position. There. So that's about, oh, this one's a little too big. There we go. So that's about how it should look. Don't have them too far away from each other. So this, as we said, is kiku. Kiku is its dictionary form for to listen. You can also have it as bun and mon. So bun we would hear in newspaper. Shinbun. That bun in newspaper is this. Next is going to be leg. So the top part, we're going to do what looks like a rectangle. So down, over, down. Let's center it a little better. Down, over, down. Then close the box. Let's go ahead and do line coming down. And in the middle of that, we want a line coming out. Then a curved line a little bit away over here. And from that, a line that slants down and meets the bottom of the vertical line. So that's leg. Ashi. Let me do the ashi better. Ashi. It's tariru and soku. Okay. Next is gonna be man. So we're gonna do what looks like a box up here. Sit down, over, down. Horizontal. Vertical. Close it. So this is actually a rice field. Then we're gonna add what looks like a katakana ka below it. So coming down, over, down, hook. Otoko. Dan. Nan. So dansei would be one example that you might hear. Dan. But otoko, man. Next is woman. Again, I'm going a little faster now again because I'm realizing how late it's getting. So for woman, we're gonna do what kind of looks like a ku. Here, gonna ku. Like that. And then another line that swoops down through. And a little below is horizontal. Onna. Onna. So it's going to have double n in it because of that. Onna. And then it could be me as well. Jo, like josei. And nyo. Next is kid, child. So kodomo. We're gonna do over, down. Not supposed to be one stroke on its own, but I usually continue here. Like that. So it's supposed to be 2 strokes here, so that top part and then the curve coming down. But I attach them together when I'm doing it. It's just so much easier. And then a line, a horizontal line that goes through around this point. So ko, as in kodomo, and shi. For kodomo, it is actually widely accepted here to have ko in kanji, but then domo not in kanji. Why? I don't know. But that's literally what I see whenever I see the word kodomo somewhere on a poster or something. Like, domo is not even a hard one to draw out, but some things are like that here. Anyway, next is gaku, school. Or student, I guess, depending on context. So, we have 3 little dashes, like so. These 2 coming in towards this middle line, and the other one coming in towards the middle line as well. But because it's on the other side, slants the other way. and kind of like a little roof. And then putting kodomo, or ko, in it. So manabu, that's like to learn. That's the dictionary form of it, manabu, to learn. And gaku. So here we used it for college. Daigaku. For student, we would say gakusei, or gakko for school. So it's used in a lot. The next one, sei, so part of gakusei. It has a lot of sounds to it because it also means life or to be alive. So a little dash or a little slanted thing there. From the middle of that, horizontal line. A little below that, another horizontal line. Below that, slightly longer. We're then going to have a line that cuts through most of them. So, I, kiru, to live. U, mareru, to be born. Na, ma. And then sei, life. Sho. You'll notice for onyomi, there is a lot of repeat onyomi sounds. Sho, jo, shu. There's a lot of repeat ones there, which can be kind of confusing. But with practice, you'll know where those sounds show up for that specific kanji. So here, we already went over... Oop. We went over daigak, but if I add sei... Daigaku... I don't have a lot of room. Alright, daigakusei. So this one is university student. That's what that one's telling us. The ikiru, that is a verb. That is to be alive. Umareru, that is another verb. That is to be born. So those are in dictionary forms. Seikatsu, that's lifestyle. Same sei. Alright, Chichi, this is dad. So, dashes that kind of curve a bit. And then we're going to do a curved X. And that's it. For father. Chichi and fu. Chichi is how you say your own father. If you're talking about your own father, you say chichi. If you're talking about somebody else's father, you say otou-san. And that o is the honorific one. So putting respect for otou-san. Because maybe in anime you heard them say tou-san as well. Without it. Alright, mother. This one I definitely don't like. It's stroke order. So this one's over or down. It's kind of slanted when you're doing it. And then let's go ahead and just put in that. Let's put in the middle line. 2 little dashes on either side of that middle line. And then coming out just a little bit, about like that. So this one, if we're talking about our own mom, we say haha. If we're talking about somebody else's mom, we'll say oka-san. Next is tomo, as in tomodachi. So horizontal line, curved line, kind of like we're doing a ta almost. Then over curve, so like a fu, katakana fu, and curve through. Tomo, so tomodachi, friend, tomo. And you. So this is another one that's common to just see tomo in kanji and dachi in hiragana, even though dachi does have its own kanji as well. It's just common to see it that way. Next is up. So vertical line. Small horizontal, maybe around there. Below that, longer one. It's a bit slanted. Let's not make it slanted. Alright, this one is ue for up. Ageru to give. That one's a dictionary verb. Ageru. And jo. So I mentioned this before, but jozu. So to be good at something. So up and hand together, meaning good at whatever. Then we got shita. Down. Horizontal. Vertical going down. Not at this cross point here, but a little below that. We're gonna branch out. So we have shi, ta, sa, geru, which is another form of to give, but in a formal way. And ku, daru. Then we got ka, ge, and then one that again it's just leaving out random sounds, but I'm gonna point this out to you guys. So to be good at something, jozu. To be bad at it, heta. That's to be bad at, heta. So this is down. Down, below, or under, shita. Up, above, over, ue. Wait a minute, did I have ue on that one? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Alright. Now we're going to do inside. So line, over, down, close. Rectangle. I want to center that actually. Oh my gosh. Center. There we go. And vertical line going through. So naka and chu. Naka is middle and inside. Right. All right. Horizontal. Curved line. And a box down in this corner. So this is to the right. Like the direction. Like take a right turn. That right. So migi for right hand. Like if you're gonna say like to the right, migi. And then we could say u and yu as well. Then left looks very, very similar to right. So let's start it off the same way with the horizontal and the curve. Difference here is this bottom corner. We're gonna put what looks like a katakana e. So this is left. Hidari. And then also sa. They got my, which is gonna be front or before. Two little dashes that are going towards the middle. Horizontal line under them. In this half, we're gonna do moon. Then on this half, we're gonna do katakana ri. So that's front or before. Mae and zen. So gozen means AM. So that zen in gozen. Next is back, behind, or after. Can mean all of that. So in this half, slanted line, another slanted line, and then from the middle of that, we're gonna come straight down. Probably not that far down. Then in this half, this move here, these two strokes. So this, I don't know what that would be, like an L, a sideways L, and then a slightly larger one of that attaches like that. Or actually, this is more of a mu. So katakana mu, put that in. I should bring that lower. Like that, there we go. So this top that we have here, this is one that we're gonna see quite a bit in other katakanas, or not katakana, other kanji as well. So it's a good one to learn how to do properly. And then we're gonna do slanted line, over curve, and curve through. Ushiro, which is behind or back. Ato, which is after or later. And go, also after or later. So ato de, so after this, do you want to do something kind of a thing? All right. Oof, we have so much left to do. I shouldn't have said that I was going to do all of N5 in this. Oh man. My hand is getting tired. All right, we got this though. Maybe. All right, so for this one, over, down, hook. Over, down, hook. This top part, you should make sure that it is quite long. Below that, we're going to do another line. Below that, another line. Below that, a longer line. It now cuts and starts behind this. Then a little under and away. I'm going to curve this way and up. So my shortcut for this one is usually when I'm doing this, I go up more and cut through that instead. Ooh, oops, I went a little too far back. There we go. This is long, which makes sense with all of these long lines. Na, gai, nagai. Long. Cho as well. Like shacho. That's like president or boss. Shacho. It's this cho. Tall is going to be the next one. Or expensive. We can also use it for that. Little vertical. Horizontal. We're going to add a box here. An actual closed box though. Then down, over, down, hook. And a box inside here. So it looks like a building. To me it looks like a tall building, so that's how I always remembered that this is tall. Which is ta kai, which can also mean expensive. Takai mono, expensive things. All right. But then how about cheap? Yasui for cheap. So down, little tiny vertical. Tiny little roof, and then we're gonna put woman inside here. It's very small. Let's make it a little bigger to fill up some space. There we go. Yasui. And on, like anshin, safe. The feeling of being safe or relieved. Next, oi, many, or a lot. Different from takusan. So here we're gonna put what looks like tas, katakana tas, just stacked on each other. And that's it. Just two katakana tas stacked on each other. Pretty easy. Oi. And ta. For a lot or much. Next we got suku, or squishy also. This one's gonna look very similar to chisai. So we're gonna start it the same way. Dash, dash. Difference here is with this dash on the right side, we're gonna have another stroke coming off it that curves down below. So this is for few. Suku. But sukuna. Sukunai. Or also suko shi. These are parentheses. Hopefully that's like clear enough. Squishy. And then show. Man. There's a lot of spammers on. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and ban these people. There we go. Now I figured out how to do the Twitch commands. Alright, anyway. Where was I? Squishy. Alright. Let's see. Next, new. So this is going to be part of Shinbun news. Or, not news, sorry. Shinbun newspaper. But it uses the word new in it. This one's a little complex. So, on this side, little dash. Horizontal line. 2 more little dashes below that. Horizontal line. Below that, another horizontal line. Then a line that comes down through the middle. And swooping out here. Now we're going to move over to the right side. Curve down. Over, down. I made this very small. I'm going to redo it. It's still small. I have a habit of just drawing small, I guess. Because the reason why I have this box here is so that you get used to drawing in a box. And you should try to use the full box, unlike what I've been doing. Don't be like me. Oh, let's fix that. Tarashi. Atarashi. New. And Shin. So Shinbun. So new ear, which is newspaper. So in a way you can think of it like, oh, it's new things to hear. That's kind of what I thought of it as. Anyway. Alright, furui, old. Horizontal line. Vertical. And at the bottom, a box. Furui. The ko, actually. I do have an example of that one. Not an actual word, but a name. Komi. So Komi-chan. Her name has old in it. the kanji old. The komi can't communicate one, if it's not clear. Alright, next is white. Getting into colors, it seems. Alright, so little dash. Over on this side. Vertical line. Over, down. Oof. I don't really like how that looks. Dash, over, down. I'm just not gonna get the look I want. Alright, and then horizontal, close it. So that is white. Shi, ro, I, shiroi, and haku. Next is gonna be nani. So what? Slanted. Vertical. Over. Man, can't I do it straight? There. Down. It's going a little sense. Down. Hook. And inside a box. Nani? None. For what? So if we want to do what time? Nanji. What time? Alright, I feel like I'm close. Getting close to the end, maybe. Hopefully. I hope. Alright. Let's suffer through a little more. Alright, this one is a verb. We're getting into verbs. To say. So dash. Horizontal. Below that, slightly smaller. About the same size. Box. Now when you see this in a font, this dash is actually going to be straight. So it's going to look more like that in a typed font. So just keep that in mind. This one is E. Ooh. To say. Also again. Gon. So iu, to say. Which is different than to speak. Because to say, usually you're saying somebody else said this thing. So that's when you say iu. But if you're just talking about a conversation, or that you're speaking, or somebody is actually speaking right now, it's going to be hanasu. So dash, horizontal line, two smaller ones, box. On this side, we're going to put what looks like sen on top of a box. So again, when we're looking at this one, it might look more like that. So hanasu, su. Make that a little clearer. Hanasu, which we would conjugate to be hanashi. But we can also have one that actually doesn't have that and just means hanashi. And wa. So kai wa, that's having a conversation. Kai is to meet. So kai wa, meeting and speaking, that's a conversation you're having. Hanasu. Alright, next is language. Dash. Horizontal. 2 smaller. Box. Then we're going to put 5. And box. This is a counter for languages. So, Katakana and go. So this is the language counter. So for Nihongo. This is the Japanese language. Nihongo, Japanese language. And this is again something like you could do with other ones. So if I want to say like, well, Indian language is not a good example because India has so many. Spanish. So Spain, we want to say that in Japanese. So Spango. Spango. Or I'm probably saying that slightly wrong. But Spanish. Adding go to the end of that. So Deutsch. There we go. Let's do German. So the German language. Deutsch go. German language. Deutsch is how you say it in Japanese. Which I actually really love that so much. Deutsch. It's so fun to say. Alright. Hopefully you're seeing kind of a pattern when it comes to words. We have say in them. Because next one is going to be reading. To read. So dash. Long. Too short. Box. Let's try and make this a little longer though. Or bigger, I should say. 2 dash. There we go. Now I'm doing it. And then horizontal. Which looks like it's actually going to be a little higher, but that's okay. All right, horizontal, and then below, slightly below that, we're going to do a smaller one. Cut through. Little roof. And feet. This one is to read. So yo mu. Yomu. And doku. Alright, next is to eat. So we're going to do what looks like a roof of a house. Little dash. Down with the hook. Over, down. There, that's better. And then out like that. So this is another one where if I'm writing it, I'll do that. I'll just stretch it out and combine this line. Which teachers do actually don't like me doing that. But people can read it still, so whatever. Taberu, to eat. Taberu. And shoku. So wa shoku. That's traditional Japanese food. We would say it like that. Wa shoku. Then to drink. Same thing. So roof of a house. Or, well, actually, let's make it smaller. This one we do need to make it smaller because we have another half. So roof of a house. And we're doing taberu basically here. So that with the tiny little thing at the end there. Over, down. Slanted line here. Over, hook. And we're gonna put what looks like a person there. So that's to drink. No. Mu. No mu. Next is to rest. Line, slanted line. Line coming down. And right next to it, we're going to put tree. The way my teacher kind of taught it to me was it's like a person leaning on a tree. So to rest on a tree. Yeah. Su. Mu. Yasumu. And Q. Okay. We got this. We got this. Just need to stretch a bit. Alright, we're getting to the one that I said looks very identical to person. We're almost there. Alright, next is to go. Slanted line. Below that, another slanted line. And then a line coming down from it. Next to that, horizontal line. Below that, another horizontal line. And a line coming down from it with the hook. I. Ku. Iku, to go. We also have oko. Oh. Na. Oko nao. Ko. Gyo. So I said this word earlier thinking that it was gold. Bank. Ginko. So the ko in this is this one here. So ging, silver, ko. Ginko. Bank. Next, it's going to be to come. So horizontal line. Oh, yeah, horizontal line. Trying to get a good. All right. Then dashes going towards the middle here. Under that, another horizontal line. Vertical going through and swooping out. So kuru. So once we get into verbs, we'll learn that kuru is a special kind of verb. It has special conjugations with it. It's a group 3 verb, are also an irregular a regular verb. There we go. And then adai, like adai getsu, next month. So the month that's coming. So to come, month coming, adai getsu. Which is going to look like that. You could also use it for week, adai shu. Or year, adai nen. Next year. Alright. Next is to enter. So for this, we're going to do line, swoop in this way. And then a line that swoops that way. So this is the one that looks very close to person. So that is the one we just drew, and then person goes that way. Now, some fonts will actually add a little hook at the top to tell you that's the line that's swooping this way. So it might actually look more like, oh, come on. I'm going a little too far. All right, more like that. So this is to enter. 𝘿𝙊 𝙊 new. So for this one, a good example would be, I don't really like using the hook there. Iriguchi, which is entrance. So deguchi was exit, iriguchi, entrance. So using mouth. So enter mouth. That is the entrance of something. And right on cue. Now for leaving. Deru. So vertical line over vertical line, vertical line over vertical line. This one could also be going past like that as a slant. Coming down. This doesn't look as great. Alright, that's a little better. So, deru, exit. To exit or to leave. So, deguchi, exit. Next is to buy, cow, little rectangle with lines inside it. Then we're gonna put what looks like I under that. And dashes going out from the side. Cow, to buy. Next is minute or to understand. So dashes or slanted lines. I'm going to do a slanted line down here. And then do what kind of looks like a katakana ka, but without the top portion of it. So like this. Wakeru. Wakaru. Boon. Boon. Alright, so our onyomi, boon, and fun, that's the counter for minute. Ippun. Oh, there's also pun in that. Ippun. Ni fun. And then wakaru or wakeru is to understand. Wakarimasu. I understand. Next we have to write. This one has a lot of lines in it that goes horizontal. Alright, so over, down. Horizontal that cuts through. Then there. Below that, Slightly longer. Below that, a little bit longer. Go ahead and put a line that goes through. And under that, a squished sun to right. Could look a little better, but that's okay. Kaku. And sho. Like in library, toshokan. Same sho. Ugh. Almost there, come on. I gotta be almost there. Alright, to stand up. Little vertical. Horizontal. Slanted lines. Horizontal. Tatsu. And ritsu. Tatsu to stand up. Name. Or this is part of name when you look at it. So putting in what looks like a ta at first. And then in this bottom corner here, we're gonna put a box. So a ta on top of a box. Na. Me. Myo. So I say this is part of name. By itself it means name, but it is actually part of it. We have seen the other part, so I can write it here. Namae. So, name. We would also have this in yume, which is famous. This one I have mentioned and even showed you. G. Time. So we put a day, a thin day. Oh my gosh. I'm losing it. Come on. Alright, thin day, and next to it, temple. That's basically what this here is. That's a temple. So this is toki for time, and ji for hour. So if I said ichi, ji, that's 1 o'clock, basically. Next is between or during. So this is going to have our gate in it. And then sun in the middle. Yeah. Aida. Ma. Kan. So Aida is in between. And then kan we would actually use. So, oh, whoops, I switched that. Ah, man. I'm just gonna move it. Instead of having to rewrite it. So jikan, that is like time that it takes for something. So if I say ichijikan, I said 1 hour. Currently, this stream has been going for nichikan around. Yeah. Nichihan gurai. About 2 hours now. Maybe closer if I just said sanjikan gurai. I think that'd be better. So about 3 hours. So it's duration of time. Next is han, half. Dashes going towards each other, to the middle, horizontal, lower, longer horizontal, and then cutting the entire thing in half. So both halves look like the same. Han, half. Oh, all right. Midday or afternoon. Dash or slanted line. Line coming off of that. Let's go a little shorter. About there. Below that, a longer line. Then a line that cuts just down through the one line down here. Go. So I mentioned this one. Go zen. This is how we say AM. So if I say gozen ichiji, I'm saying it's 1 a.m. Now how do we do PM? We do know the kanji for that one too. Oh, let's do that a little. Let's make it look a little better. There we go. Go, go. PM. Ichichi, or gogo ichiji. 1 p.m. So for this, as you can tell with how I'm saying it, I'm saying the AM and PM part before the number. So a little backwards for how we say it. Ooh, we're almost done. There's like 4 sets that this is recommending us. All right. Now we're gonna do a roof. Horizontal line inside our roof. And below that, what looks like a katakana fu. This is now. So, ima. Kon. Konshu, this week. That would be an example of that. Or kongetsu, this month. Oh, and perfect. Shu is our next one then. Because I've been saying it, but I haven't been showing it. So we're going to do a curved line. Over, down, hook. Inside, small horizontal. Below that, longer. Cut through. And a box. Then over here, dash. Let's go a little lower about here. This one, down, zigzagging. And then we're gonna have another stroke that comes out that way, but let's do... I like that, that's better. I find for me it's better if I have it as 1 stroke. But normally it's 2 strokes. So the zigzag first and then the one going out. So this here is week. Shu. So if I said kon. Konshu. This week. We could also use, wait. Yeah, the next week over, so Raishu. We looked at, to come. And it had the Rai in it. Alright, year. Slanted. Horizontal. Below that, slightly smaller horizontal. Line coming off of that. Longer horizontal. And a middle going down. Line going down the middle. Toshi. Nen. Oh, Rai. Next year. This one. So we used this for this week. We said konshu. This one's a little different. Ko toshi. So this year. That's how we say it. Kotoshi. Kotoshi. Alright. After that, each or every. So slanted line, horizontal, down, over, down, hook, cross, down, over. This one only has here, mai. So if we said mainichi, every day. Again, I want to apologize that I'm going so fast. I'm needing to go to sleep, so I'm trying to get through this. Luckily, if you're trying to follow along, you could just take a look at this after it's turned into a video or a VOD on YouTube. Then you can like pause and actually go through everything properly. Otherwise, I normally would take the time and actually teach this for you guys, but yeah, timed it pretty badly on my side. Alright, next is gonna be former or ahead. So, dash, horizontal, below that, another horizontal, cut through. Swoop out, hook out. This one is, we would see in the word sensei, which we do know sei, so I can actually write that out for you. Saki, so that's like before or ahead, like saki ni ita, so just left ahead of time. Mazu first, or that should be in parentheses. Sen. Oh, this is also, yeah, so sen, whoop. Teacher. So, like, ahead in terms of like education, probably sensei. And then ahead or before, I guess. So like Sen. Shu. So this would be last week. So the former week. I gotta stretch my hand. Ugh. Alright, car. Horizontal. Then what seems like a box with the line. Another horizontal and vertical going through. You can tell that my handwriting is getting worse. But you guys get the picture. Kuruma, that's car. Sha. So like densha, that's train. This one I've also mentioned to you guys. So we're gonna put what looks like tree. And then next to it, so vertical, horizontal, and then down below here, chichi. School, this is part of school. So men, ko. Ga, oh, we would do little tsu, ga, ko. School, gakko. Next is mise, like this. Store. And then also 10. Interesting. This set decided that you guys should know eki. Eki in some sets would be an N4. So now we're getting into some of the ones that kind of overlaps and is weird. But let's do it anyway. So down, down, over, blah, blah. Oh, I didn't realize I have more room here. Slant, box, come out. So station is what this one is. Eki. Next is to meet, which I kind of told you about for kaiwa. We use this. So roof, horizontal, below that. Bigger horizontal. Attached to that one, a mu. So, u, ao, and kai. This is talk. Kai wa. Convo, conversation. The next one here is society, but we can also combine it with this for another word. So we're gonna put what looks like a katakana ne. Just a longer thing there. Horizontal. Horizontal quite a bit down. And then a line. Sha. So I said we could combine this one. Kaisha. This is company. But on its own, society. Next is country. So we're gonna do what looks like a box. We're gonna do, come on. All right, inside the box, line or horizontal. Below that, another horizontal. Below that, another horizontal. In the middle of these bottom two, a dash. And then a line and close the box. This is country. Kuni. Koku. Goku. So, oh yeah, we could do this one here. All right. We've learned that. Chu. Goku. This is actually China. Middle country, China. All right, 2 more sets. And then I might add 1 more if I don't see it here. Not 1 more set, just 1 more. 1 more kanji. All right, sky. Horizontal. Below that, slightly shorter horizontal. Then we're gonna put what looks like a person in that. Ten. This one we would use in tenki, which is weather. It could also mean heaven on its own. The next one actually is ki, so this works out. Ki is like energy or spirit. It's kind of a weird one to translate. So, curved dash, horizontal. Below that, slightly shorter horizontal. Below that, over, down, hook. And that. It's a me, like katakana me in there. Key. So as I said, we could put this for tenki. Oh, not ding. Tenki, which is weather. Next is outside. So we're gonna put what looks like a ta, katakana ta. And then line, and a line that cuts through it. Soto. Hazu. Rei. And Gai. So this one we would use like Gaigoku. For like foreign or outside country, things like that, or just outside in general, so like outside the window, soto, outside the house, soto. Next is ame, so horizontal, down, over, down, with the hook. Kind of looks like an umbrella. Not a very good umbrella though, because the rain still got into it. So that one's rain. Which is gonna be ame, and ooh. Electricity. This one's interesting. Alright, so it's gonna have rain in it. So this top part is gonna be rain. Or without the hook though. I have a habit of doing the hook for this, but don't put the hook for this one. If you do, it's okay. But yeah. And then before going through, oh yeah, alright, let's put in rain. Then this next part is going to be rice field, which I don't think this showed up in our entire list. There. It should be like thinner, honestly. This part here should be much thinner. But that's okay. Den. So for example, denki. So this is electricity. How long have I been studying Japanese? That is tough. Kind of on and off. Because I did Japanese in high school all 4 years, but then when I went into college, I couldn't continue it. So there's a huge gap until I decided I'm just going to restart in master's. And now I'm in Japan and I'm working towards passing the JLPT. So I'm at a Japanese language school here as well. So quite a while. I am able to teach N5 level. I actually do that online already, so that's why I'm going over this now. My hands are getting tired though. But I'm so close. Alright. So next is going to be sky, or also empty. This can mean empty too. So that little roof, that, and then what looks like a. Huh, thank you. I will try. I will try. Sora. Aku. Aku. Suku. And ku. Oh. So sky. I think next time if I'm gonna go over kanji, I should do it in parts. Lesson learned. Oh my gosh. There's like a little icon on my side on OBS that's kind of blocking part of that. So this year you're gonna take the JLPT N4. Is what I think that says. Because again, it's blocking like the last part of that sentence. But based on context, I'm gonna assume that. This year I'm actually taking the JLPT N2. I'm probably not gonna pass. I'm just using it as a chance to like see what the test looks like. If I pass, that'd be amazing though. I would still be in school, but either way, I would still stay in school if that happened. Alright, so this next one is fish. We're gonna do that. And then rice field and our dashes. Whoa. Sakana? Q. Or gyu. Gyu. Fish. Next is flower. So this here, this radical, that's what it's called. When you take parts of a kanji apart, they're called radicals. So this here is grass. But we're gonna do a line there. And then like that. So this is flower. Hana. And ka. Oh, my ears are ringing. Almost done though. One more set. Alright guys, so north. This is one that when you're looking at it in an app, or if you look on Google, it's going to give you the old version of it. So a lot of the Chinese students will write this because that's what it looks like in their language. But it's changed slightly for Japanese. So for this one, line down, jeez, here, like that. Now, how does it look when you actually look it up on an app or something? That's how it looks. So that's like the old style of it that apps and fonts will still use. This is north. So kita, hoku. Kita Senju, North Senju. South. Let's see. Controversial question. Do you still recommend Japanese learners to study the writing of kanji since most YouTubers say it's unnecessary? So kanji is more important to recognize. That is true. But it would be a good idea to learn the common kanji that people always use. So earlier on, I showed ko, as in child. It's widely acceptable to do, like when you're saying kodomo, have ko in kanji, but domo in hiragana. Like that's a wide, common usage that people accept here. I don't know why. I have not actually seen domo in its kanji form ever, but that's kind of something that you realize when you're here in Japan, that there are things like that. So the simple kanji, definitely learn those and how to write them. So basically the N5 kanji, learn those, and maybe a little bit of the N4. But higher than that, it's more important that you recognize it and you're able to know what the sounds of that are. Because, let's see, a good example would be obituary. The word obituary, they have that in the newspaper. If you asked a younger person on the street, just randomly, how do you say this? They've lost the... they've kind of lost that sound. They don't know how to say it anymore. But if you ask, how do you, or like, what does it mean? They could tell you that pretty easily. So that's like a common example of just being able to recognize it. Because it is still used in every day. Like they still look at kanji, they still use kanji. It's just writing it is gonna be the simple ones. Honestly, I just like writing kanji out though, because sometimes it shortens the space within, like if you're writing an essay, you can shorten sentences by using kanji, which is nice. Minami, south, horizontal. Up, down, over, down. Inside, or let's do the top, there we go. inside dash south. Ni na mi. None. And then east, so east and west, different than right and left, guys. Just like in English. So east. This one is actually in Tokyo. We use this kanji for Tokyo. East city, basically. Higashi for left, or east. Sorry, I was gonna say left. Higashi, east, and then to, as in Tokyo. Nishi, west. Kind of looks very similar to sake to me. So horizontal, then you do these, and you put that into a box. For sake, we just add another layer. So very, very similar. Nishi, west. See. And then I think this is our last one that they want to show us for this set, but I'm going to show you a little bit more after this. Just because I feel like there should be more. Alright, so this is going to be road. 2 dashes. Horizontal line. Small little line here that kind of slants. And then we're going to put I and that one zigzag for Michi Do. So this is road or path. Yeah. So each list or book or source that you go through is again gonna give you different things that go into N5. A lot of the end stuff is what they can't seem to agree on. So another one I'm gonna show you here that I learned pretty early on. Watashi. So watashi, that means me or I. That one is what I learned early on. Another one that I was surprised to not see that I kept telling you guys about. Rice field. Ta-da, like Toyota or Honda. It's that same field. What else? If we go back to otoko, right? We had that. Kind of looked like a katakana ka, but a little wider. That's power. Chikara. Trying to think of what else would be simple ones that I didn't see listed. Let me see what they have for N4. And see if maybe we should have had it in N5. Oh yeah, they have field in N4. That's so weird. But field is definitely, in my opinion, in N5. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Yeah, I guess the rest of the N4 stuff is fine to keep in N4. But yeah, so I would just add those extra 3 into the N4 or N5 list. Because I learned them pretty early on. Watashi was, I think, maybe one of the first ones I ever learned when I was in school, in high school. And that one's a good one that you see very often. One thing to be aware of if anybody here plans on taking the JLPT, if you plan on taking the lower level ones, if you start to get really good at kanji, some of the questions might actually be harder for you. Reason why is because some of them might just be all hiragana. My placement test, for example, for when I came here, half of the placement test was just hiragana. And when they started using kanji, it was in like the way too higher level questions that I just couldn't get. Because it was just all kanji at that point. So I had to like kind of go very slow to figure out what are these words. Because without kanji, it's really hard. You gotta kind of look at the rest of the sentence, the rest of the context. Which is kind of a pain sometimes. Which is another reason why kanji is preferred. Yeah. But alright, alright. Not bad, not bad. So again, sorry about going so fast. Because I stream mainly on YouTube, this becomes a video later, so you guys can kind of pause and go through on your own slowly if you need to. But from here on, the other Japanese streams that I'm going to be doing are going to be for like kanji and things like that. The videos will be on specific topics like particles, verbs, te form, ta form, stuff like that. I'll do that as an actual video instead of a stream. And as we move forward, I will do more kanji streams. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Just a reminder that I do have a 24-hour stream coming up. It's in 2 parts because I can't do more than 11 hours and like 40 minutes on YouTube since I'm not a partner. And it's for raising money for my cat. So if you're unable to donate, maybe try helping me just advertise the event itself. I also have commissions open in case if like people rather have something in return. But yeah, that's coming up in 2 days. Yeah. So hope to see you guys there. But anyway, thank you for watching, lurking, chatting. I appreciate all of it. And hope to see you guys soon. Bye.